So I ask you the same question. What are you using it for?
Oh my gosh, well, Caroline, it's so great to see you again, and thanks so much for having me. I mean, so much of what we focus on is giving people their time and money back. We help the average company reduce their spend by about 5% per year. And we just heard Kasser talk about AI being used to help cars self-drive. I don't think a CFO necessarily can be replaced through AI, but it can certainly do your expense reports. It can certainly do bill pay runs. It can make procurement easier. And a lot of where we're investing now is doubling down on this product line. Building agentic workers, things that ultimately will allow companies to do their expenses on autopilot to take away the low value work. So investing there and also investing into the market. We're already 1.5% of the entire U.S. and small business or small business corporate card market. We want to be 4, we want to be 8, and so we're investing behind that.
So what is the biggest bottleneck here? I mean, you're already shipping, 270 features when it comes to AI in 2025 alone. Is it more talent that you need to get more products out? Is it more marketing spend? What's the bottleneck for you as a business growing?
I mean, ultimately, I think it starts with the product. We spend over 50% of our payroll ultimately on research and development. It's part of why customers feel that every single year they use Ramp, it's getting better and better. And I still think at the end of the day, all the company is a collection of people. So we're trying to find extraordinary engineers to build an extraordinary product. It's part of why we grow so quickly. Over 35% of our customers actually come from word of mouth, and so we think it starts there. Of course, we want to invest. We did our first Super Bowl ad earlier this year, which was a ton of fun. And last, I think it just comes down to really being on the cutting edge of what computers can do. Because I think now with today's AI capabilities, I'll put it this way, last year we were proud that we shipped 207 features. It's already past 270 in just the first 5 months. And so I think when you use those capabilities to make the best people better, that produces a lot. So that's where we're focused.
Eric, it's good to have you back on the show. I was interested in the R&D piece, but also because the range of customers is so broad, Anduril through to CBRE, the other fintech companies, e-commerce companies. Where are you seeing your traction fastest? In which sectors of our economy?
Thanks so much for asking. So it's a couple things. First, whether you're working on building AGI, as some of these companies are, or operating a farm and a restaurant, every single person has to comply with the IRS's rules, which is you need receipts for expenses above $75. You need to close your books at the end of the month. And for most people out there listening to this, doing their expense reports and their books is the worst part of their month. You're focused on high-value tasks, and suddenly you're reduced to kind of chasing down receipts and tagging manual transactions. And so we solve that problem fairly universally. When we look at our business, what's so unusual is not just that we're growing, but that we actually accelerated. We're growing even faster at much larger scale this year, and it's coming from a few segments at it. It's of course the small and mid-market segment, but our enterprise segment is more than doubling each year, and those are logos like CBRE, like Shopify, with thousands to tens to even hundreds of thousands of employees that we can give them time back.
Eric, you heard Kasser say sometimes raising money isn't about the capital. It's about getting outsiders to look at the business. Just wondered if you agreed with that.
I have to say, every time we come on this show, growth seems to accelerate, so thank you for having us. I think there is something exciting both to celebrate, to see the momentum, and it's a chance for customers to share really the impact that Ramp has driven for their business. And so we certainly think so. We hope folks will take a fresh look, and we hope to have a chance to work really hard for everybody out there.
We've asked about your money in. Back to the talent. Look, we've talked about Zuckerberg forming a team, a super intelligence team. How expensive is talent right now? How much are you able to get it in New York, for example, or is it distributed?
So I think a couple things. First, at the end of the day, this may be about technology, but I think these businesses are really about people. We're in the human capital business. It's about finding the best. And when you look at some of the large cutting-edge AI research labs, I mean, they can be spending millions to tens of millions per year for the most cutting-edge researchers. For us, we try to find folks very early in their career. And so when we look at indicators like, did folks win a International Informatics Olympiad or Math Olympiad? We actually have 13 medalists. This is more than most nation states have actually produced. And I'll tell you, when you find folks who are extraordinary in some way, whether it's that great competitive video gamer in the past, an athlete, folks who really take things to an extreme, I think that's where you start to see breakthroughs. And so I think the last thing I'd say is New York has incredible talent density. It's long been the capital of finance. And for us, I think it's given us a real edge.